All right, here's personal growth strategy number 6, the final one, building resiliency. Oh, with so much uncertainty in the world and so many things changing so quickly, resiliency has become a really important skill, a really important tool for us, not just to survive, but to exceed and excel. Uh, I'll give you an example. So I remember when I used to travel quite a bit by car throughout the Midwest, and gosh, those winter storms in Michigan, coming across Lake Michigan, were incredible. And remember, I had one really important trip coming up where I had to drive to Chicago from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's about a 3-4 hour drive. And in the winter with Lake Michigan and storms, it could be bad. And it was a week away, and I'm watching the news, and the news saying, we got some big snowstorm coming in on that particular day. And I'm already freaking out, right? About, the snow that's coming in. My daughter and son are getting excited. Why? Hey, they might close school and they have a free day, right? It's fun. And I'm thinking about, wow, I might end up in a ditch. Where's our mind at, right? So having a tool that helps us when we look at that, right? Our innate reaction when we have a scenario like that is to look at the dangers, the downside, and that's okay. We need to do that so that we think about the safety and security of things and have the right things together, right? So I packed my trunk with emergency clothes and blankets and lights and food and those kind of things, right? Just in case. If we stay there, it really eats at us, and it takes minutes out of our lives by doing that, right? So don't stay there. We need to gain a healthier perspective, okay? And also keep in mind, we have a choice in this, right? We have a choice over this, okay? What if I said no? I'm not going to drive through that. What if I said we can reschedule? What if I could, we have a lot of different options. Or what's the worst that could happen? So let me share you a story tying it to this one young female daughter talking to her mother. And she was so concerned about all the uncertainty of her life and all the things that were happening to her and how she wasn't going to be able to survive. And her mom said, give me a few minutes. And then she called her into the kitchen and she put on the stove 3 boiling pots. And in those pots, she put carrots, eggs, and coffee. And she said, what do you see? She goes, I see 3 pots, one with carrots, one with eggs and coffee. And she goes, yeah, all 3 of these products are facing the same adversity, boiling water, right? And the carrots went in, right? And the carrots were hard and crisp. But after a while in the boiling water, they became soft and mushy, right? The eggs had that thin shell and a malleable inside. But once they get to the boiling water, they eventually become hardened on the inside. But look at the coffee. The coffee literally changes the water and turns it into something that we enjoy. So what are you going to be? You're going to be the carrot, the eggs, or are you going to be the coffee? And with your mind, change the scenario that's going on. It's what I needed to do. Put my emergency stuff in there, plan for that, be prepared. And that day, if that big storm came, what choice am I going to make? If I go, then I need to be safe, need to figure out how to do that safely. If I don't go, how can I reschedule? Guess what? On that particular one, we didn't even really get a storm. So I got worried about nothing that can happen, right? So we have this. It's about how we see the world. Resiliency is really about how we see the world and then how we act or react to what it is. So let me share these 8 steps towards a more satisfying life and building our resiliency. 1, count your blessings. We spend so much time focused on needs, unmet goals that we haven't gotten, money that we don't have. But what about the things you have? What about the things you have accomplished? Oh my gosh, right? Start a gratitude journal. Record 3 to 5 things weekly for which you're currently thankful for, from the mundane to the magnificent, right? Do this once a week and keep it fresh. I remember a presentation, Keith Harrell's a motivational speaker for IBM, and he'd say, okay, everybody stop, take a deep breath. How much would you pay to do that again? I mean, it's pretty kind of morbid, but it drives home the point. Number 2, practice acts of kindness. The more we give, and these should be random, not systematic, right? Or it could be systematic if it helps you remember that. Being kind to others, friends, strangers, triggers a cascade of positive effects. And that's the world we want to live in that positive world. It makes you feel generous. The more generous we feel, the better we feel, right? Capable. It doesn't have to be money. It can be time, it can be our knowledge, whatever, right? But we do that. All are happiness boosters. Savor life's joys. Take a minute, smell again. I remember coming home from, we'd be coming home from trips, and I'm one of those that's, focused, and I got everything set. And like within 5 miles of home, I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to do when I get home? And I'm memorizing this because I'm driving, so I can't write it down. I'm trying to keep this in my memory. We're unpacking the car and I'm thinking about this, and I bump right into my wife as we get closer to the front door, and she goes, "Stop, can you smell that?" I go, "Is it me?" She goes, "No, smell." And we're standing in the middle of this beautiful garden that she spends hours cultivating. One of the most wonderful smells and the most wonderful sights. Savor those times, right? Be focused so that you have time to stop and smell the roses. Number 4, thank a mentor. Talk to somebody, send somebody a note. I had a great opportunity to my favorite mentors to talk to them. One of them passed, and luckily I got to him about a year or two before he did. And they were taken back. It's not, again, boy, they did so much for my career. Let them know that. Learn to forgive. This is a big one. It wasn't always easy, right? Not forgiving someone is like drinking poison to kill somebody else, right? What are we holding that in there for, right? Learn to forgive, let it go. The cleansing action that comes with forgiveness is that releasing, getting rid of that, because in order to have positive thoughts, we got to get rid of that negative thinking, okay? It allows you to move on. Time to move on. Number 6, invest time and energy in family and friends. They talk about our happiness level, satisfaction level. Those are the biggest components. Having great relationships with family and close friends. Gosh, it's always better when I go into that deep, dark world and I know I have so many loving people supporting me and around me. It's a big comfort. Number 7, take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your health, right? We can't be there for somebody else if we're not taking care of ourselves. So be sure you do. Eat right, relax, stress, stress reduction, whatever you want to do, mindfulness exercises, exercising, stretching, laughing. All those things are healthy things for us. Practice regularly can make your daily life more satisfying. And again, too, I know when I feel better and I'm not aching in pain, my attitude's much better for other people. And number 8, develop strategies for coping with stress and hardships. That's what building resiliency is all about, right? There's no avoiding hard times. There's no avoiding hard times. They're going to happen. It's going to show up. Okay. But the more you learn how to cope, the more you learn how to deal with that in a healthy way, the better you handle it in the future. Stay healthy. I hope it helped.